G'day everybody there from Karanga. It's Mark Sparvel coming to you from, strangely, South Australia, where it's summertime. Normally my home is in Seattle, USA. Great to have some time with you to talk a little bit about the work that we do in Microsoft Education, focused around social and emotional learning. Also what there is on offer, if you like, for Karanga, and what there is that maybe we're seeking. So maybe just to begin with, a little bit about me. Obviously, I'm on, like you, the Karanga Steering Committee. I'm an advisor for Goldie Hawn's Mind Up Foundation, and we do a lot of work with them. I'm an ambassador for the Australian Emotional Intelligence Association, which is going to have its launch in a couple of weeks' time. I write for Forbes around topics to do with social learning in the workplace and social learning in school, and I'm on the BET Global Advisory Board. In Microsoft, what I do is I work in the marketing area, and I lead a lot of the work that ensures that when we talk to education, when we build products and programs, that they're grounded in evidence and research, and also that they're credible and they reflect the authentic voice of global education leaders, teachers, and other practitioners. So with my work, I'm guided by this leading with the thoughts that matter the most. And I'm driven by these key questions that I've framed, which help me to navigate the work that I do, particularly the research work. You know, what are the outcomes that are going to be important in the now, the near, and the next? What are the shifts that need to happen, you know, at a classroom level through to at a systemic level or a policy level to enable these preferred futures? What is currently happening globally and the promising next practice? So this intentional, appreciative lens around where is success flourishing and how do we get more of that? What is the root cause of success? And obviously, critically for us, you know, we're Microsoft, we make great productivity tools. Office 365 is free for education, always will be. What is the role of technology in amplifying the required shifts that are required? So that's broadly. When we look at what our commitment is, it's long term. And I think that comes as a surprise to a lot of people when they think about Microsoft. And often they think about Office, or they think about the problems they're having with Outlook. Back to 2012, we developed a framework to help guide systems towards digital transformation called the Education Transformation Framework. And back then, one of the key pillars was social and emotional learning. We viewed that as being an interdependent piece of sustainable improvement in classrooms, in schools, and entire systems. And in fact, again, the framework is evidence-based. It's been used globally by systems to transform their work. In 2018, we launched the Class of 2030, a research project with McKinsey & Company's global practice to have a look at what were the shifts happening between now and 2030 in terms of workplace, and then also more broadly in terms of society, and what the call to action was for education. And the Class of 2030 made it very clear that the agenda was for education reform was anchored in social and emotional learning. As you can see, in 2018, we connected with Salzburg Global Seminar and kicked off a great partnership that continues to this day. 2019, we worked with the Economist Intelligence Unit to produce Emotion Cognition in the Age of AI to look at approaches to well-being at a system level. Where was that working? Where was it struggling? And also, what was the correlation between those countries which were improving on standard tests like PISA, not those who were best, but those who were improving the most, and what was their approach to social and emotional learning? 2019, we connected with Mark Brackett from the Yale Centre for Emotional Intelligence, and work with him continues to this day. 2020, we launched our social and emotional learning webpage and began a number of initiatives internally to shift our products to better support teachers in delivering social and emotional learning. 2020, we collaborated with Goldie Hawn's Mind Up. 2020, we released a number of features in our products: Praise, Reflect, more on those later, a cell sticker pack tied to the big 5 character traits. We also released Mindful Night, a medieval quest for mindfulness in Minecraft, plus a number of other things like the social and emotional learning disco library in Flipgrid, which has had over 1 billion videos uploaded in Flipgrid. It is the social learning platform of choice. 2020, we released Education Reimagined paper, and that brings us to 2021, where we've got more excitement coming up very soon. Just you wait. So at a glance, these are all available free. They don't pitch and sell Microsoft products. So I just want to make that very clear. These are thought leading papers, which are our contribution back to the profession around the topics that matter most. And the topic that matters most is social and emotional learning. You can see in the center of this screen, we launched a TV series, a webinar series, Teaching Happiness, where we interviewed global experts around mindfulness, social and emotional learning. Again, made that free and pushed that out. Education Reimagined, importantly released just at the cusp of COVID to help schools and systems take the best of what they've learned across 2020 and cast that forwards into reimagined education delivery modes in 2021 and beyond the blast zone of 2020. And not surprisingly, it calls out 3 key priorities. One is health and well-being, one is social and emotional learning, and the other one is quality teaching and learning. Also in higher education, we're just in the middle of completing the second part of a 2-part research study with The Economist around the impact on higher education of 2020. And again, how do we cast that forwards? Not surprisingly, the results you're going to find within here very much pick up the fact that learning is socially embedded and that emotions are the gatekeeper to cognition, attention, and motivation. So what you're looking at now is just a new field resource that I created. So this has gone out to all of our global field. Keep in mind, Microsoft has got about 170,000 staff across over 48 countries. So we have significant reach into the education market across the globe. They've all received this deck. I'll show you a few slides so you can get a little bit of a sense of what it's about. The slides you see moving across are the praise sticker packs focused on character traits, which are being tied to some of our other tools called Insights. So there'll be a big announcement coming up in March about this. The deck, which is extensive, but provides, I guess, what are the programs we have to support social and emotional learning? What is the professional learning that we have? What are the product features that we have? And what are the partnerships that we prioritize? I guess that's how we approach social and emotional learning. So you can see in the top left corner, one of the things I do is I gather best practice all of the time about social and emotional learning. And it's called my Cell Top 10, but there's about 15 ideas. What teachers can do Monday, not someday, to help support social and emotional learning. And again, these are all tied to technology, but tied to free technology. So we partner with groups like and we've produced free courseware on WeSchool, which we make available through our education centre, courses to support social and emotional learning with our tools, examples of emotion check-ins, courses on mindfulness delivered from Headspace and other groups, plus amazing resource pages. The bottom right-hand corner, I founded a community online to promote social and emotional learning. It's called Cell in Edu. By the time we view this, we'll have over 9,000 people, and that is about 7,500 active monthly users. So a very dynamic, vibrant community that is moderated by myself and also Committee for Children. So it's a safe place for people interested in pursuing further conversations around social and emotional learning to come together. So if you haven't joined the community, join the community and share it with your networks. Let's get over 10,000. And of course, all of the research we constantly make available and update, and you can see some of those links on there: Emotion Cognition in the Age of AI and the Class of 2030. Plus also, we're constantly updating our webpage to support social and emotional learning while students are in hybrid learning models. So that's a taste, if you like, of what that resource looks like. And you can see it looks very, very pretty. Thank you. So what can we offer Karanga? I guess what we've done so far is we've lent a hand to Karanga around supporting them with marketing and the creative development of assets, which Karanga then can use to help promote Karanga events. Shared engagement, leveraging speakers from the Karanga Steering Committee in our work and vice versa. I guess using one another for reach amplification. Syndicated content is also another area. So, we would love when we've got a big event coming up, example, our Educator Exchange in March. We've got Mark Lesser. He's an expert around leaders and mindfulness. It'd be great that everybody in the Karanga committee would get behind and amplify. If I shared out a tweet, if I shared out some copy to post, that would show that kind of reciprocal relationship is what we're after. Example would be on that same week in March, Andreas from OECD is going to provide a 30-minute day 2 keynote around the study for social and emotional skills. Again, if Karanga know about it, then we would love for you to be amplifying it, commenting on it. We would love for you all to be pushing the Sell and Edu community. So, and in turn, when Karanga have events, when you have activities that you want amplification, then we will use our amplification engines to amplify those events also, or use our speakers. So I guess our offer is, our offer and our ask is the same, which is, how do we come together to co-share activities, to co-promote and to syndicate content? And we're certainly doing this already, and it's been a great relationship so far, and one that we hope will continue into the future. So that's probably it from me. Again, Microsoft remains firmly committed to pursuing this agenda. We see this as being one of the critical education reform agendas of our times. And we also know that the promotion of social and emotional learning will deliver benefits way beyond just education attainment, but will deliver those benefits around civic participation and positive engagement in society. So I'm Mark Sparvel. If we're not following one another on Twitter, @Sparvel. Chat to you soon.